ZEBEC and Canton. This is the agentic AI proof everyone was waiting for. Cue my guy Indigo Saint. Let's get it. Boom. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe bro, it's Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting, so we binge on that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing.
What's up, guys? This conversation we've had in the Patreon for quite a while, but here, bringing it to the regular channel a bit, right? Definitely come over to the Patreon where we discuss specific things, specific coins we're looking at agentic AI that probably will never come over to the channel here publicly, but are over there in our Patreon, where we also have weekly open mic nights as well as weekly Symbolism Sundays. We spoke about the symbolism of Saturn last Symbolism Sunday. So here with agentic AI, I really don't think that people know how big this is going to be. Right. I don't think they comprehend it. You know, shout out to Jake Claver. I was just listening to him. He was saying, like, do you know some of the things that AI can do where they can just like spun up a program that it'll take like engineers 5 months to work on? Well, imagine now these agents working, trading 24/7, okay, without fail, without lunch breaks, without, bathroom breaks, without, talking to the hot girl in HR, without any of that, right? These agentic AI are going to be moving and moving and moving and moving. And what makes that possible? The XRP ledger and how it reduces fees for the entire system, right? How the entire system is, the fees are reduced, cross-border payments are possible, cross-border data is possible, right? In a very real way. So let's go ahead and share the screen here, and we'll get straight into it here. And we'll just go just right straight into it here. So starting with a company called T54, okay? We've been talking about this in the Patreon, like I said, for like at least a month and a half now. Well, T54, guess what these guys do? If you mosey on down to the bottom, so you can see here in the beginning of their website, empowering trusted agentic economy, building infrastructure for autonomous systems to transact with confidence. You mosey all the way down here, you'll see that it is the XRP Ledger X402 facilitator. So yes, the XRP Ledger will have X402. We've been over X402. We run in the first channels, at least I know of, in the crypto sphere, to really kind of focus on X402 pretty heavy. Shout out to us over here, and definitely be a part of the Root Crew. Links are in the description. So we've been talking X402 for quite a while over here, and yes, T54 is a XRP Ledger X402 facilitator. They're not only backed by Ripple, they're also backed by Franklin Templeton, this T54. So Franklin Templeton is also kind of in league with this company here, T54. Let me go ahead and bring up its investors, which we can find on cryptorank.io. So the investors in T54 include, let me bring that up for you right quick here. So Franklin Templeton, that's one right there, and Ripple, right? So virtuals, which is interesting there, right? That's on Coinbase. I wonder if that's the same virtuals as the coin. I don't know. We'll have to look into that a little bit further later. But the biggest ones here, of course, are Ripple and Franklin Templeton Investments. Now, a key linchpin of this whole thing seems to be MasterCard. And MasterCard has been making some big press releases lately. So one of which, as AI agents begin to act, payments move in the background at machine speed and massive scale. Today, we're introducing MasterCard Agent Pay for machines, bringing structure, governance, and trust to a new class of payments, launching with 30 plus partners to bring this to life. To bring this to life from day one. This isn't just payments; it's a new operating model for commerce, and they're not lying. It's not just payments; it's a new operating model for commerce. 24/7 payments, 24/7 payments, and like really get 24/7 payments. So we can see not only some Canton partners there with Rain. We see T54. Ripple's in here, Ave's in here, Anchorage Digital. So definitely some partners that we see of Canton and also ZEBEC, right? Coinbase, Crossmint, MoonPay, OKX, Polygon, Rain, Ripple, Solana, Stripe, and Tempo. Turnkey, T54. We've talked so much about Tempo and Stripe and their connection to ZEBEC through the Euro AU, okay? The all unity stablecoin there. So big thing there, right? So again, this is happening quicker than we think, right? Quicker than we can anticipate here. And MasterCard seems to be the linchpin here. Let's go to their public press release, June 10th. Today, MasterCard launches Agent Pay for machines to unlock super fast, always on payments. And that's really a really great way to break it down very succinctly. The way they said it there, MasterCard launches Agent Pay for machines to unlock super fast, always on payments. More than 30 industry leaders, including Aiden, International Bank, Checkout.com, Cloudflare, Coinbase, GetNet by Santander, Global Payments, Lovable, OKX, Stripe, Tempo are amongst the first to leverage and support this adaptation or this adoption. Okay, so very big news there. And also today we had Stellar announced MasterCard is expanding settlement capabilities with additional intraday, weekend, and holiday settlement using regulated stablecoins. Programmable always on payments now on Stellar, right? And we know that ZEBEC is Stellar's global infrastructure for payroll. So again, this has ZEBEC implications as well. But again, here with Franklin Templeton and T54, which they said T54 was a partner, it also has some Canton relations there as well. So let's look at T54 AI and them saying here, this is their X page, empowering trusted agentic AI economy, backed by Anagram, PL Capital, Franklin Templeton, and Ripple. And note, they said that they were a XRP Ledger facilitator. So all of this is going to clear on the XRP Ledger. All of the stuff that they're going to do for agentic payments is going to clear on the XRP Ledger. Agentic commerce needs payment. Let's blow this up so you can see it better. Okay, I guess that's as big as it's going to get. Agentic commerce needs payment infrastructure that can support autonomous execution and reliable settlement. MasterCard Agent Pay for machines is a meaningful step in that direction, connecting agent-initiated payments to global infrastructure built for real-world scale, okay? Said Chandler Fang, co-founder of T54 Labs. By partnering with MasterCard, T54 brings its trust layer to machine payments, adding real-time transaction level risk assessment, know your agent verification, and traceability across payment life cycle. This helps create a clear evidence layer for agent authorization, chargebacks, dispute resolution, and liability review, making agent-led payments more secure, auditable, and accountable. Okay. And shout out to our guy Maximus Crypto, who's shown you MasterCard connecting in its MTN connecting to Canton's global synchronizer. Again, another connection there with Canton and MasterCard and now agentic payments. But then if you need a further connection there, we can go and look at Canton and Franklin Templeton, which we had pulled up, but I don't see it here. So I'll have to pull it up on a different screen here, do it live. It was pulled up, my apologies. So yeah, Canton and Franklin Templeton, there are many connections between Franklin Templeton and Canton, which we shall show you now. With Franklin Templeton's Benji technology platform now integrated into Canton, institutions gained access to interoperable, privacy-enabled infrastructure connecting tokenized markets with traditional financial rigor. Okay, and there it is there. And then we have May 20th, architecture, adoption, and economics, Broadridge, DTCC, JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton, Visa, and HSBC are among the institutions building on the network. Okay, so he's showing there, or Canton showing that from Jake Cock Gallup. That seems like a very rich last name, Cock or Coke Gallup. That's quite the name that he has there. If you guys are familiar. But let me go ahead and link in this here. You see Fidelity here and other different Franklin Templeton, like all these tokenized assets, all these tokenized guys, Broadridge, Societe Generale, which we have also talked about. If you catch the last show, shout out to Ghost. He's saying that Societe Generale may be ZEBEC's first enterprise partner when it comes to payroll. So we shall see with that. But again, right, all of this opens up agentic payments for Canton. All of this opens up agentic payments for ZEBEC. And I just do not believe people understand how big this is, because if they did, they would be buying Canton and XRP and ZEBEC like crazy, right? But hey, we're going to be the chosen few, if you will, that are going to come out ahead because we understand what's going on here. Okay. This is going to supercharge our market like no other, right? Especially in a world where most people can't afford to buy assets to begin with, right? That's a sad and it's a sad thing to think about. But us as investors, we're really going to be out ahead of that if we can just have the stomach. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. If you could just have the stomach to go through this bear market time and Bitcoin possibly going to 37, 40, maybe even 47K, right? Maybe if Bitcoin goes down that low, can you stomach it? Because out on the other side is agentic AI, back over six-figure Bitcoin, Canton. Oh, and by the way, Grayscale just decided to have a Canton ETF. They just announced that. Let me bring up that press clipping right now. Grayscale has filed for an S1 with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to launch an ETF that would hold CC. So not only do we have a Bitwise Canton ETF, we also have a Grayscale Canton ETF. Now, by the way, these same two companies, Grayscale and Bitwise, also have a near ETF or treasury, both, So again, the kind of cream of the crop is being chosen and picked here by these institutions, and it's happening all the way under our nose. People are paying attention to price, and they are not paying attention to the fact that these hedge funds, these angel investors, these big corporations like a Bitwise, like a Grayscale, are scooping up Canton, are scooping up Near, are scooping up the best blue chip cryptos in the industry. What's going to happen next? The price of value, the price appreciation for these, right? You just have to stomach it. Do you have the stomach out here? Huh? Guys, do you have the stomach out here? So it's amazing to see here. As a crypto investor, I'm enthused. I'm happy to see it. And again, shout out to the Patreon where we're talking about agentic AI, other agentic AI and X402 things and different things like that. Definitely check it out in the Patreon here. What's up, Kevin Garrett? Kevin Garrett gave a great talk in our open mic night about a cryptocurrency. Like he went deep into it, y'all, for sure, right? He went very deep into the subject, and it was brilliant research. Thank you for that, Kevin Garrett. Shout out to one of the Recruit Patreon members out here. Appreciate you coming through, guys. Yeah, I realized it's kind of late on the East Coast, but I went live on TikTok for the first time ever, and then I came over here to get our Canton news on, right? So very, very, very interesting there. I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to go for ZEBEC, how this is going to go for Canton. Oh, and let's just bring back ZEBEC's investors, by the way, so you can see that many of the companies we mentioned actually are invested in ZEBEC. Many of those companies we mentioned for MasterCard. So OKX, Solana, we know Stripe is an investor in Stellar, and Stellar is teamed with MasterCard, and Stripe is also an investor in Tempo, and Tempo is teamed with ZEBEC as well as Stellar. So got it covered there. There anyone else on here that we may have missed? Well, Ripple has an investor called Lightspeed. They're invested in both ZEBEC and Ripple, which we've said to you guys multiple different times here, like for almost a year or two ago, that Ripple and Lightspeed share an investor. So it's not a surprise to us that Ripple and ZEBEC partner because they already share an investor, right? But people don't necessarily know that, and they were coming out and saying like XR people were coming out and saying Ripple's or ZEBEC's a scam. All of this garbage when they share investors. It's a crazy world out here. It's a crazy world out here, right? But again, we know because we do our research around here. But just to show you that proof, I'll bring it up. There it is. XRP investors, Lightspeed. We have them right there in the corner there. So, and there's Santander, right? And one of the Santander companies was on this list as well. So again, all the biggest companies that back Ripple, that back ZEBEC, that back probably MasterCard as well, are getting ready to do this with agentic AI, right? So you want to be in the leaders and best when it comes to agentic AI, when it comes to payment, when it comes to tokenization. This is what we're about around here, right? So again, here we go. Getting that by Santander. OKX, Stripe, Tempo, Coinbase, which we know here, if we go back to ZEBEC, Coinbase is an investor in ZEBEC. And DCG, Digital Currency Group, which is an investor in Coinbase, is an investor in XRP. So you can see there's a lot of different crossover when it comes to these investors, right? Where you may not know, but between ZEBEC and Coinbase and XRP, there's a lot of the same money. Right? So that's why it even makes sense that they are partnered, right? But yeah. So, and then if we go to Canton and its validators, right? Well, we can just see here if we go to Canton and its infrastructure. Let me open this in the new tab. We got some of the people that were mentioned already there. MasterCard, right? Franklin Templeton. I think Santander might be on this list too. No? Okay, but we got, HSBC, they were mentioned. They're on the list. So again, I think this bodes really, really well for Canton. This bodes really, really well for ZEBEC. And I think they're going to be a part of this agentic economy. ZEBEC more on the payroll side, Canton more when it comes to tokenizing stocks and moving tokenized stocks and tokenized treasuries around. ZEBEC, again, when it comes to payroll. So again, know what you hold and why you hold it. And let's get into some of the comments here. Rue, I know you have some highly anticipated stew for us. I know you're about to cook. Appreciate it, brother. Magic Hat, my man.
My man.
What's up, Rue? What's up, E? Fam, what's good? Back at it. He is our moderator in Telegram. Sean 6. Appreciate you, brother. The Jetsons age is upon us. Yes, indeed it is. Rosie out here. Because of course, guys, the agentic AI connects to the robots as well. So the X402 is capable to connect to the robots as well. We get very deep into that on the Patreon. But anyways, let's continue. Is CoinMarketCap the outlet to buy T54? At the moment, T54 doesn't have a token, but you can see they're the facilitator when it comes to the XRP ledger. So XRP definitely could be a way you could get an access to this, right? So, but shout out to the Patreon. We talk about different ways about getting access to this and other different cryptos, right? Agentic AI can tap into ZBCN for secure automated payments to handle business tasks independently. Indeed. What's up, Rolling with Toshi? I'm late. What's up, Rue Crew? I got 50 for you later. This push-up thing is catching on, huh? I'm dealing with the sickness at the moment. No worries. What's up, Stevie ZBCN? What's up, Rue Canton and ZBCN for the win for sure. Also, I put a homie onto crypto today, and he was all in, all the way. That's good, especially right now, given the prices. This is a good time for a newbie to get in because things are low, right? So, now is the time to talk to newbies, right? Like, just tell them to buy and don't worry about it. Even if Bitcoin gets down to 40K or 37K, it's still a good price right now for them at 60, right? So, might want to tell them to just wait till the end of June to make sure, or close to the end of June to make sure we're done dropping. But if we're not if we don't drop any more by like June 20th, I think we're kind of out of the hot water, should you say? I was hearing here that June 28th that we're going to have T0 settlement with the DTCC and things like that. So June 28th, we might see some liquidity flow into XRP and different coins like that. So let's see here. It's also getting very, very close to the date where America's 250th birthday is happening and where they're going to do the soft launch of this whole tokenization thing. And remember when we had Moonfeather on, right? Me and Mooney might have been a little bit like there were some things that happened on St. Patrick's Day. And I know people, at least on my channel, you guys like riddles a bit, right? We got the Bearable Guy 123 riddle. So as it turns out, this might actually be Oktoberfest. Even though they had the bagpipes here, they kind of threw us off with the bagpipes. But this might be actually Oktoberfest because October, okay, October is when they're going to fully launch the whole tokenization thing. Nadine Shakar told us that. Shout out to my poster of shorts. That short just came out today. And you can see here, Bearable Guy 123. You see Jay Claver, X Finance, King Solomon. So you got a lot of like big XRP wigs in here on this, talking about this. So I know people don't necessarily look at the riddles, but apparently these big dudes do. You know what I mean? Apparently these titans in the space look at these riddles, right? Heck, it could be one of them. You never know. Brother Rue, my bad. This NBA Finals game was epic. No worries, no worries. Okay, that's why we're getting such low views right now. Of course, it's almost 12 o'clock on the East Coast, but whatever. I know people will watch the replay because I got a loyal audience, guys. You know, thank you guys for being so loyal. Thank you guys for always coming through. So I appreciate that. This is the point I was waiting for, this dip. Y'all honestly believe in this privacy crap on blockchain? ZEBEC for the win. Yeah, well, privacy for blockchain, yeah, it's going to be big. This is in November when ISO will be implemented for the new financial system. Well, isn't this November? Okay, I see what you're saying. No, well, there's a few different things. October is when they said that the tokenization will be in full launch where they tokenize the whole kind of stock market. The beginning of 2027 is when Clarity, or actually Genius, is fully implemented. When we get the Clarity Act, they say that we might get the Clarity Act in July, right? They keep saying that like if it'll pass, but it's going to pass because they need to use the stablecoin system. If, MasterCard and all of these guys wouldn't be going through all of this if they weren't going to pass Clarity, in my mind, right? Ripple, MasterCard, all the dominoes that have been put into place, right, would not have happened if they're not going to pass Clarity. So they're going to pass Clarity at some point this year, right? Whether it's July, whether it's August, they're going to pass it. And yeah, we just got to have the stomach, right? And we will see the end of the road, if you will, here. Not financial advice, but I, for one, am going to be very happy to see it, right? I'll always do videos on here, but there will be signs, as the people say, right? There will be signs, if you will, right? There will be signs. So yeah, let's see here. Sorry, I'm late. I had to collect my winnings from the Knicks win. More Q&T. Here I come. Yeah, I knew the Knicks was going to win tonight. Okay, hopefully those Knicks fans can settle down now. Like, some of the things I saw, like, let's just talk about it a little bit. those Knicks fans attacking the Spurs fans, like number one, never should have happened, right? But you got to be some crazy dudes to walk in the middle of New York after a loss with a Spurs jersey on. It's like you're trying to cause problems. You know what I mean? Right? That just doesn't seem like the greatest idea. Like, I'm going to walk in the worst spot I can walk in with Spurs jerseys on and dare somebody to do something. Like, it sounds like they were looking to get attacked, kind of. You know what I mean? Not like I'm condoning what New York fans did. I'm not. But it just doesn't sound like a good decision. That would just be like me, okay, I'm going to buy the newest Jordans and I'm going to go in the worst neighborhood of Detroit. Well, I'm in Arizona right now, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm going to go into the worst neighborhood in Detroit that I can, or I'll go into the worst neighborhood in Phoenix and I'm going to dare somebody to take these Jordans off of me. No, that's just not a smart idea, right? Like, you're not going to catch me doing dumb stuff like that. It's just a stupid decision. Okay. But yeah. So this Knicks getting the title this year makes a lot of sense. The Spurs are too young. The Knicks won the NBA Cup, which nobody I really even think I cares about, but I think this will be the first team to win the NBA Cup and the big championship. But yeah, we'll see. Those Knicks came back. Clarity in August. You know, the Vlad. You want attention, you get it, right? Yeah. My bad. Clarity will be passed in August. So you know at least 2 flash crashes before it passes. Hey, we can see. I can see it. August, I know there's a solar eclipse in August. So by August, we might be heading up. So August and October are going to be 2 really big months to watch. But by 2027, I think we're going to be very much in the driver's seat. So I think the people that were like, oh, no 4-year cycle, they're kind of half right. It's just sped up. Okay. So this is going to be a shorter bull cycle than everyone anticipated. And we're going to move into the next phase of bull way quicker than people thought. Right. So if people are sitting around waiting for things to happen like they did in 2021, they never happen like that. It never happens like that. 17 didn't happen or 21 didn't happen like 17. So 24 is not going to happen. And then 24 didn't happen like 21. So hence, this next cycle is not going to happen like 21. It's just not going to. It's just not going to. It's going to be faster than anticipated. Clarity, you better be ready before October. DTCC and Euroclear and BIS is not playing around. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? So you got to believe it's ready before October. Hell, it might even be ready before July, because they're doing what they're doing with tokenization, right? With the DTCC. So it might be ready beginning of July. So it'll be quite interesting to see, because maybe, too, once Clarity is ready, they do something and they give us a crash then, right? And then that crash happens and then we immediately go back up, right? We immediately go back up, once the soft launch happens. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. So we just had a little quick one here today. If you made it to the end, put Agentic AI in the comments once the live ends. It'll help spread the video around. We're on our way to 9,600 subscribers, well on our way to 10K. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for walking with me. And if you enjoyed the information, please like and subscribe, and we're out. Peace.